Tata wachabu shui wachabu wasai yati obula yati wamole kutu wope wajibu wajibu wayoda kuja no ajo numo bomo ko sibi fenye blue wacho ne wachabu kubasimu beje nugo wacho ne mena sisu ni masu na masu asiale tu bule tu obi tu ne aga snatch snate esene numo bomo ko sibi fe komi ke fokolo yi one name, one name, one class one of my son. I can become a labaton. Nungua mane, la strategy, the Katamanso. This would be not Katamanso. Yellow, one way of one of those is one way. Wait to see if finally gets it. I don't know what I see many women get good finally. We need Gadambia a lemo, a team or yo. Katamanso tabi. Mene afi mene wona kunili ne. Mene wo bai. O bai we bi ko. No bai we ne. Woni afi na agba. Ha o mo ka dila mo fon ya se. Wo sa sun ke gba wona. Mene wo mo da mo abi. Wo ko li mo go isi. Se ko me fi mo ke no ya. Ka no kwale na agatu ma. Mene wo mo se yi. O bai we mo ne. Woni afi na agba o ka dila mo fon ya se. Ko ma ko twa lo te ke la bia me la ka mo no fe swande yi. Wo ma yi mi afi wo no. Awo bia wala yi. Wa oye gbonu we bi na wa fe mo atu abi onu be mi ke wo je no wo ye wo ko jana ajo wala yi to awon ni mi afi wo no ya ai go
afi gbeja no to mi wo fe won kai wa ancestors ke me ni ba twa gadangbe e ke mashi she will have press conference name shoni name on the 7th of August, this year 2024, Boblo Moshiche, okay, watch here, after almost 3 years, they be more back, Katamanso now within 26, which I feel you know, 200 years. For almost about 3 years, he made a come be share you more ba ke ha numbo ya ke kitana sha ke kitana aka ya ke shale ke agbo ni aba sha ke fobi shin kitana aka ni aka tuna ke ntumo ne na tu egbogu ko ebi ni wojin bi o dase ya komi ami ke ni bi e kajima wojin ba ke ni bi am bi o ni wo na me bi o ni for 3 years ne wo tun o ni komi ami. She this year I can show 2 years here. Cheme fe yosi ake be gadangbe fe onuko ake even though mo fe mo wa na ke twata onuko ake mo konfi nuko krede ni ke kai o cheme ke lana ahweshi ya ke kaje nutumo na atu ya mumomi pote shwe ba this time wole ake gampo ye wole ake mene mo woni wo yo wole aka safotu na yo wole ake wonye me danwe bi ho amafi na me yo ke ni bi e ke afi ni efe e baba no ya ke no ni ba no ke kita na kan ye wonye me ashanti me ye commencer na me ba ame kita ja ke aba fi bi wo ye shpo ne no ni ayo se wopo alo aba yo ke wopo sun no e wo hia ake le hwe afi enyo ni akawa tu ne ke ni tumo ne akai cheme fe ni yomi wo gboblo mo ke won chen ametu ne ke ni tumo ne wala ke no watu pe be wo ke heli ake le Jehovah Lord of the Kadangbe state ni gakupa na no fe footprint ni je naji ke ni jinye maji fe ano na nya tu kusu me bebe e ke heli wo fe wo yi Gadangbe fe shake be hwe afie koni mo fe mo ko ye no ko fi mo ko no fi lele ogbena ke wogbena wo fe wo yoso ake onye memo we bi who were significant in 1826 battle niji adote Babylon nchi mo de tun amame yosi wo kai ya me pe mo fu mo gbogbo mo fi kusun pe enye ke kai mo fe mo wo na bo fi mo shi to mo ni se bo ni yegbe ni ke wo gbe na wo fe wo mi se mi wo no ake wo nye mi akumi ye je Nungua ko alo Katamanso she ye CP match Palace ni ayafie he decided that he will respond to noni babulo mo shiche ke himeji efie we mo de ke for pano Nungua Mankralo ni vice president ke ha Nungua traditional council ke he won che ke Nungua ma fe ke babulo mo na ke be we mo sha ni no we mo na we mi ke historical records both kusumi ke no na ma fe pa mi lo wo ke wo shile na kai you ni ba na la ke be na ka jibo ni yo lo wo chebe e wo hiwale ake be mene woche ne ka shita mo ne ko ni no ni woli ya hife wonya wo ke fo pa di fe mu wo ba wi she get 200 years she wo ke fe ba fo won wo kai o man bi fe ke gadan bi fe ya ga shin Katamanso ta di mo bi to no ni gadan bi ne fe wo allies ni ba wa nji achime ikwapeme akwamume ke wonye me fanti ke dentra bi ke wonye me dangbe me ke gadan bi imagine fe ni amawa na ke twale keta ne ke wonye me British ni amwa me bawa ni aketu ne ke nitu mo ne mukometo ni e ko ke fo no ake ikometo yitu 200 years e wa kwa faida ni wa kan ni ye dani 200 years e ba she ke mukomeke fo no ake shi man imagine fe ni bawa e ja me no la blam won kai gadan bi fe no la blam e ake mo fe mo ko ke ni ba trata na e ko e ye no ko ke de ni tu wo gbogbo to nye kwa ke fo no wata she bi e ni wo che me ke woni me gboyi ye ta mi ju ba de che me ko kuro me oni yo gadan bi na fe to bi ncho yen ke onye me achi me akwamu me akwapim me fanteme British ke ni bi ama me ku me gboyi mi wo mo gbo to nye ko ke 200 years e she wo fe ke twijro wo ba atu na ke kusu ne wo ke kaya mi shimo no ni sana wo ke ma bi fe wo ba ni ma bi fa ale wo ke wo aka ni ebro fo ni ya ke wo ko ba ka mi hu ni ma bi dangbe bi fa no no wo yo sha ba mi yo 1826 Katamanso ta Hoomɔ kai responsible by the office of the Nungua Mankralo Obrepon Nungua the Alabi Jengedi 6 who also died as the Nungua vice president Nungua traditional council press statement on the 15th of August 2024. Greetings to you, our brothers and sisters in the media, and seasonal greetings to all Gadangbe's. We wish you afi anybody now. Nipa fe kwa no bra. Eba tree were here. It is unfortunate that in a festive period like this, we should be discussing issues of honor in memory of our forebears. We rather have to begrudgingly respond to a recent press held by our brother, the former Honorable Minister, who is today known as Katamanso Manche, on certain uninformed claims concerning the spiritual preparation of the historic Katamanso War of 1826. The office of the Nungua Mankralo find it necessary to address these falsehoods with the seriousness they deserve. We thought our brother would have personally taken steps to meet the Gbablu Omosiche, overlord of the Kadangbe state, to discuss any reservations he may have had. But since he chose the media, we are obliged to use the same medium to respond to him. First and foremost, the Katamanso Hoomɔ under the auspices of the Gbablu Omosiche in Nungua on the 7th of August 2024 was not to spite our Ashanti brothers, neither was it done to discredit the various allies, i.e. the entire Gadangbe towns from Gamashi, Usu, La, Teshi, Nungua, Toma, Boom, Pram, Ningo, Adan, and our Adangbe brothers. The Shai and then the Krobus. Also, not to mention our Chim brothers, the Akwamus, the Ekwapims, the Fantis, and then also the British who also aided in this particular process. This is not done to belittle any spiritual activity or preparations done by any other, as I've mentioned above, but to honor the heroes and to commemorate the spiritual preparation done by then Gbablu Omosiche, Numu Botedin, within the Gbabuko before the warriors depart to the battlefield. Interestingly, the battle which began at Dodowa successfully ended at the Pinkwai Katamanso within the Nungua traditional area, and which to state unequivocally that the Katamanso war was indeed spiritually prepared within the sacred Gbabuko. Because as I've indicated earlier on, the battle did not start on or within Nungua. It started way at the top of Dodowa, through the Dodowa forest, through Oyibi, finally ending at Katamanso. And for that particular reason alone, we believe and trust that the prayers that was done and the preparation that was done by the Gbablu brought the battle to Nungua lands, where the 99 deities of Nungua were in full force. In Katamanso was not only untrue and a lie, but a gross distortion to our history, which must be readdressed unapologetically. Our brother Nin stated that the fortification and spiritual preparation of the historic Katamanso War of 1826 were made at the grove of the Afie deity in Katamanso. This is not true. If he cares to know, Afie is not a war deity. Afie is not a war deity. And I want to repeat that again. Afie is not a war deity. Afie stands for fertility and love. Also the wife of many senior deities within the entire Gadangbe state. She is a wife to many. In the Ga Palance, it is referred to as Beyu. Afie Beyu ni. Ume umfana apa. Uakele yata. Oto kele yata. Be bumonu yata. We taflache. Aba yobo etash. As referred by MJ Field, Social Organization of the Ga people, page 86. we call the page that is say Obana no ni MJ my afi ejeme. Moreover, the affiliate deity at the Katamanso is under the spiritual jurisdiction of the Babulo Moshiche, who is a rightful custodian. Hence, even if it was true that the spiritual preparation took place at Afiena in Katamanso, it is still under the spiritual leadership of the Babulo Moshiche. But having known the spiritual role of the Afie deity, the Babulo will not and cannot use Afie to prepare for the battle. Hence, we are saying that his claims are false and he should not mislead the Gadangbe people. We want to state that before the commencement of the Katamanso War, spiritual preparations were conducted across the entire Gadangbe state, with a significant rite performed at the Sakumono Fio Toshishi in Gamashi. However, the Sakumono deity, which was instrumental in the war, has its roots in the Babuko. Reference once again, referring to C.C. Randolph, History of the Gold Coast and Ashantis, page 10. It is clearly stated there, the rightful owners and the first worshipper of the Sakumono deity. We all know and we can attest by tradition and customs of the Gadangbe people that the Babulo Moshiche does not cross the Kweishi to Gamashi. Hence, any rites that are being performed at the Sakumono Tushishi in Gamashi, he performs same within the Babuko. More recently, we cannot attest that the Sakumono Nkpa Bulomo in Tema attests to these facts in his audio recorded by one of our brother Hunia, which he stated that the Sakumono, that the Tema Sakumono Nkpa, which is being worshipped by the people of Tema, belongs to the people of Nungua, and that Sakumono Fio in Gamashi is also falls in line. Also, it is well documented in the social organization of the Gan people by Professor M.J. Field, page 138, that Numo Blabijengi, or Ni Blabijengi, the first Mankralo of Nungua, who was by then the senior Babu Labia to the Babulo Moshiche Numo Botedi, took his Mankralos to Okansha to the Katamanso War. The reason why every year before the Oibi Yam Festival, the Nungua Mankralo does sprinkling of special meal in Nungua ancestral homes and ends at the Royal Cemetery of the Amanfan quarters to feed all our ancestors and fallen heroes in remembrance of their courage and resilience in time of war, like the Katamanso War. It will be very unreasonable to assume that the Nungua Mankralo Blacks too went to the war without fortification by the then Babulo Moshiche Numo Botedin. We challenge our brother to produce any record in history written by any other Black Stew or any other performance within Nungua that was used or was taken to the Katamanso War. if there is any record to indicate such. Because on record, it is clearly stated that the first Nungua Mankralo took his black stool to the Katamanso town, which is the Katamanso of 1826. Let me emphasize that this is not to inspire any of the men of valor like Ni Adote Bobilo of Ni Muewe, who distinguished themselves during the war. The Katamanso War will be just 200 years in 2026. And the event of this war are well captured in our oral and written histories, as well as our play, Otu, May and Akon songs, for any serious royal in Nungua to miss. As I've indicated earlier on, the oral history is well captured within our tradition, custom, practices, and usages, and can be found within our play, our Otu, our May, and Akon songs. During our festivals, you will hear them clearly, and that any meaningful or any other person that touts himself as a royal from Nungua should know and know it clearly, because your attendance to our traditional events will teach you when these songs are being sung, will teach you and let you know the true history. But you can't just hit your stomach or hit your chest and claim things which are not true, because the written history and the oral history will expose you. We will not sit down aloof and allow, at this current stage that we are, for any person to use chronism to claim things which are false. That will not happen. We will not accept it. If you come 1,000 times, we will come 1,000 times with facts. We will refer to the books. We will refer to our tradition too as well. It's rather unfortunate. Furthermore, our brother's assertion that the gallant Asantini Oseya Akoto was killed during the war is utterly false. All the books does not claim same. Because in 1826, the colonial masters were around. Everything was documented. And they were part of the battle. The British were part of the battle. Well documented. Asantini Oseya Akoto was not killed. He was not killed during the battle. Historical records and oral traditions clearly stated that the leader of the Ashantis, Asantini Oseya Akoto, was shot and wounded by our brother from Wewe, Adote Bobilo. Whilst in his palanquin, he was not killed immediately like he asserted. Indeed, it's very imperative to note that historical records have stated that the Ashantis even lost their bodies too during this particular battle. But they have to regroup, reinforce, if not to lose the battle. The unifier of the Ashanti state have to be captured. Rightfully, they regrouped and got their golden stool back, which stands as a unifier for our brothers. Katamanso town was founded way before the war was called Aviam, which is came to Aviam in Nungua. If you are fully informed or well informed about the history of the people of Nungua, you will know that we have Hoomɔ, which is salty water, and then we have Nungua, which is fresh water. We have Ariam in Nungua, and you also know, as I've indicated, that the area where the final battle of 1826 happened was called Ariam. It was after the war that is referred to as Katamanso. So you will know, Ariam is a Dangbe. It's a Dangbe word, and everybody can go or search the meaning of it. After the war, the town was handed over to the Ajinwi people of Nungua. Quite after the war, Neocley, the then Nungua Manche, placed 2 men, our brother mentioned, in charge as caretakers under the express direction of the British government, Baburu Moshiche, overlord of the Gadangbe state, and the Gamanche, as it had at the time become an heritage site. And you can know that in more recent times, our brothers from Teshi, our brothers from La, and almost everybody within the Gadangbe state have some level or portions of properties along that area, because after the battle, it became a property of the government, as the war was led by the then Gamanche. The British government asked that it has to be preserved as such. But then Gamanche accepted that, look, it is within the jurisdiction of the Nungua people, and that the Nungua Manche should take full responsibility of ensuring that the site is an heritage site. The question that we need to even ask ourselves, whether that has been kept even up to date by the custodians and the people that we've entrusted to keep the Pinkwine forest. Is the Pinkwine forest alive? Or it has been shared among people? Another lie through his state, in the statement that the Ashantis came to Katamanso unannounced, and that the people of Katamanso spotted strangers on their land and sent words to the Nungua Manche, who then sent words to other chiefs in other towns to gather at Katamanso for the war. It's a complete false and not true. Please, our brother Ni, Nana Osei Yao Akoto made his intention clear to attack, defeat, and push the Gadangbe people or the Gadangbes inside the belly of Kamflan, which is the smallest fish in the sea. The smallest fish in the sea is called Kamflan. How did Nanaya Osei Akoto being within the middle belt, an Ashanti king got to know the name of the smallest fish in the sea? Because he had conquered Fanti brothers with the British and gotten the title Bonsu, Nana Bonsu. The first time Ashanti king got the name Bonsu after conquering the Fanti and the British. Asked what is the biggest fish in the sea. He said the name of the biggest fish is called Bonsu. He said, I've conquered everybody at the coast, so now you can add Bonsu to my title. That was the very first time an Ashanti Hini had the title Bonsu. after our Gadangbe brothers from Mashi, who had within themselves Fantis who went to aid in the Asamakwa War. The then Otunfo, who has had the title Bosu to his name, declared that after the guns have aided the Fantis, he will show the guns a big lesson they will never forget by wiping us off the surface on earth and pushing us. Ask, what is the name of the smallest fish? Now that I've taken onto myself the name of the biggest fish in the sea, what is the smallest fish in the sea? They told him that the biggest fish, as I've indicated, is called Bonsu. He said, if the biggest fish is Bonsu, they have the Bonsu. Then he asked, what is the smallest fish? They say it's called Canflan. And I say, if the smallest fish in the sea is Canflan, as what the guns said, they are not plenty. I will wipe them off and I'll push them into the belly of Canflan. They will not even be known. Get the former BG no you Canflan, or when I get Canflan, Ashi, for me not a fake and Apo Musumbe. One day to get a lingy, imitate Befu, did a few, a lady view. You okay? I met you out Canflan, Musum, here. Cash will put in chair. Gamepube, if we would have an and it is well documented. Our brother cannot claim that they were in Katamanso and then they saw some strangers on the land, and then seeing the strangers on the land, he informed Nungua and then Nungua informed the other Gadangbe towns. It is well documented. It is well documented. Right after the Battle of Asamakwa War of 1824, thus it took 2 years of fervent preparation on both sides before August 1826. Before August 1826, all of us were documented that our Ashanti brothers will come and attack us. Because we had Fantis who have been assimilated into our Fuwas gangs, went to support the Afanti brothers during the Asamakwa War. The Asantini then declared that he will attack Gadangbe. Unfortunately, getting to Kumasi, he passed on. His brother, who is the Asantini Oseya Akoto, vowed to continue the war. Because before the Asamakwa War, Ghana and Dangbes have a very fruitful relationship with our Ashanti brothers. Least did they know that during a battle between themselves and the Fantis and the British, we will go and then support the Fantis. But it was no fault of ours. We went because we have already assimilated within our Fanti brothers. What is their name? The Atofos of Gamashi. They are trying to go there. The Aboles and the Fantis who were in our midst. Because of them, they had to go and support the Fantis to fight the Asantis. Now we have assimilated them into our fold. We also have to follow them to break the relationship that we had with the Asantis. That got our Ashanti brothers mad, and they decided to attack us. So nobody can change our history. It is clearly stated. Even though Nana Oseya Akoto, upon further oracles that were performed in Kumasi, the oracles indicated to him that, look, if you descend to Accra, you will lose. If you descend to Accra, you will lose the battle. But looking at his sheer numbers, because by then, the Ashantis can be equated to any foreign force because they can raise huge numbers when it comes to their army. as indicated on records, they came to Accra with 44,000. 44,000 can be raised within the either the British or the Germans or even the white soldiers. The whole country can even raise 30,000. Ashantis alone can raise 44,000 men to come and fight. So looking at his sheer numbers, he knew that even if the oracle says that when he comes to Accra, he's going to lose that particular battle, looking at his numbers, he can defy the oracle direction and then come to Accra. Indeed, it is stated clearly that Accra and Gamashi and the entire Gadangbe state, which included all the Ghana towns and our allies, the Achims, the Ekrapims, the Akwamus, the Fantis and the British, raised only 11,000. Only 11,000 soldiers compared to their numbers 44,000. It is almost 4:1. Definitely he is coming to Accra to clear us off. Indeed, our other Akan brothers who came to aid the process, it is well documented that they wanted their independence from the Ashantis. And it is clearly stated that right after the Katamanso War, that is why you can see some of our Akan brothers celebrating Udra and all those things, because our brothers came with all those deities that were captured. And later it has become a festival for our Kwapim brothers. And almost all our Akan brothers have some celebration whatsoever in connection to the 1826 battle, because they wanted their independence from the Ashantis, who were then dominating everywhere. Nobody have conquered them before, in which we respect them for that feat. But indeed, our ancestors, our forebears, stood on their grounds. If it is not because of the Hoomɔ preparations that was done within the Baburomo and across the Babukomi and across the entire Gadangbe state in preparation of the battle. So our brother cannot say that they were in Katamanso and they saw some strangers. The war did not start from Katamanso. The war started way beyond Dodowa, entered into the Dodowa forest, proceeded through Oyibi and all those towns into the Katamanso Pinkwine forest, which is well documented. We will not sit aloof. He is my former boss. I respect him as such. But we will not sit aloof for anybody to distort, to misrepresent the Gadangbe people on the sacrifices that our forebears have done for us to be where we are today. It's sacrilegious. Because we all know it is there for all of us to see that the Pinkwine forest right now, as I sit down here, as Nungua form Nungua, I cannot even quantify or see or know where the Pinkwine forest was. It is for him and all those that claims that Katamanso belongs to them to prove to us and to show us the size of the Pinkwine forest as indicated by the British government, and then the Gamanche and the Baburomo to be preserved as such. It is not even there for us to see. As for his claims that the chief of Katamanso, he expected to be notified by the Baburomo Shiche overlord in the Gadangbe state before the Hoomɔ came. We want to tell all Gadangbes that Nyo to Akwete, the recognized Mancha of Katamanso, has not been declared dead Neither he abdicated from his stool, hence no one else can be installed as Katamanso Manche. That's what I should be. What me could dash you? Take off here like 3 actually dash you. What you could Katamanso Manche dash you? I can do one. Well, now we could soon energy. Now we could soon touch on it. Dash you. What you could Katamanso Manche dash you? Ke afi Katamanso Manche dash you. Ke pictures ya lo no go. Na akeba ko ni wo ko. He should answer his family from Ajinwe, who are seeking to know the whereabouts of the Katamanso Manche. No to acquittal. Since there has not been any announcement or proclamation of his death, nor has any right been performed to declare the stool vacant, his purported installation was conducted on a Sunday. It's nothing but one of the many affronts of Gadangbe traditions, custom practices and usages, which all right meaning Gadangbes must condemn. Because to know of him one lay at the woman chair of back. You're Gadangbe then. At the woman chair of back. You're Gadangbe then. At the woman chair of back. You're Nungua stone. Yake hoba babubini. Mo fe money on Nungua yake hoba babubi. Babubie atun jema wonko yeni. Atun jema wonko yeni hoba ye Nungua maneni. Atun ni mu ye Nungua maneni. Aye bai ye Nungua shikone no apart from Afani, apart from Babu le Babu le père de faire Kusum Roba. Bugwe fait Kusum Roba. Il y a Nungua shikone no. E ya ke manche to ke o to manche se ko na ke to manche. Won ko na ke to manche. Manche ko be na ke won ko to wole. Manche ko be na ke se ko to wole. Na kan se eye egbin. Na kan se na ka to bo manche na kan se eye egbin. Wo na ke to bo manche na kan wo eye egbin. Nungua stone no bobu pe atu enu tumo oba. Many fita ina afi kusu e family. Kemi jile mata wo se egbe. Ya ke awo mi dun awo mi ko dun. No he wo won ba mi po wo ke ma bi fe ake Gadangbe kusu ke gbajano tuwe wo ke nyanu fi mo aka fite wo kusu we boni cheme ame kame hi shanfole na agbo ye ke boni atole ke ha bonu oba na le bible le cheke ake do not change or shift the ancient landmarks. Ancient landmarks say boni atole no ani Yesu Kristo po again ke ko ife mi ni ife mi boni ba na le ma fe le mi. Finally, the timing of his installation is another affront to our customs and tradition. This is because per our tradition, as a people of Nungua, it is sacrilegious to conduct asafo and manche installation activities on any Nungua land when the sacred corn Adaibi is sprinkled. During the Nungua festival, such actions shows a complete disregard for or lack of knowledge of our tradition and an unacceptable level of disrespect to ancestors and deities. Is our brother suggesting that whenever other Gan or Gadangbe town makes reference to Katamanso, permission must be sought from him? No. No, that is a big no. Because he stated in his statement that Katamanso nibi. Oh, the flash. Katamanso ma cheme ya gbo ejo ojo ba denche. Mini touch there. Ake teche ni bote kofi franco ni je no Nungua Mankralo shono talo ko ibi gonte mache inni ni bra bi jege ike wo se Mankralo se ike te tero wo kema fi loko ke kai inni bra bi jege ni Nungua fe pe ye Poulu no Nungua fe pe Poulu no nega lugu wo nunke wo yota ni wo ai ko do moshia gadan bebi ni wo ai ko do moshia wo nyema Ashanti na ke hota ye Poulu no ni ye Poulu no to na ba fan ke ba ya ta shishi ke ba je oyibi dodo wa itengbe ale ake wo ba wuni ejeme ke be fale sheni mi fe logo ken kaile iya bi Katamanso bi agbeda. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the famous Katamanso War was a success due to the fact that all Gadangbe's participated. The gallantry of the many Gadangbe warriors granted us victory. Therefore, all of Gadangbe can claim remembrance of Katamanso, more so during the proceedings of the Tema, Nungua, Pinko Island disputes as captured in the Koda report of 1904, page 101. The then King Odaifio mentioned that he came to succeed King Bokete Lawe, who entered the sea when matters arose over Katamanso Pinko Island issues between Tema, La, and Nungua. Again, it must be noted that in the suit number J4/13/2023, most recently, when our brother Nim was a defendant to the case, stated Babu Romo was entitled to those from occupants of Katamanso Pinko Island. He himself, our brother, who did the presser recently, he himself, in the case at the Supreme Court, indicated within his claims that the Babu Romo was claiming those, and also entitled to those from occupants of the Katamanso Pinko Islands. Why today, after going to Supreme Court to claim that Babu Romo he or to many more Katamanso scorn of Babu Romo he or to no my own claim case and state here, why many it was no disrespect Babu Romo carefully in remembrance. We want to inform me and his cohorts that Katamanso, Hoomɔ, Kaimo did not start this year. However, it was made public this year due to the pending 200 years of the battle. We urge all Gadangbe's people, all Gadangbe people, to disregard the misleading statement made by our brother and demand that he sees this is an attempt to undermine the integrity and authority of the Babu Romo overlord of the Gadangbe state. The truth stands clear, and we will not tolerate any further attempts by anybody to distort our history and tradition practices and usages. Thank you. Nungua Mankralo, Vice President of the Nungua Traditional Council, as read by Teacher Nibote Kofi, Franca II, Nungua Mankralo from Otalo, and Oibi Goite Matches. Thank you very much.